104.5 The Team. Crazy news going on all over the NFL, so we're reaching out to our new friend Joe Fortenbaugh from 95.7 The Game in the Bay Area. Joe, you were in Vegas for many years, so you've got the scoop on what's going on. Mark Davis is looking for land in Vegas to potentially move the Raiders.
The Raiders have a better chance of winning next year's World Series than they do of moving to Las Vegas. It's going to be a while to understand exactly why this wouldn't work on any level. Let's start with the team. This is Mark Davis's latest leverage play in an effort to get Oakland to pony up some money for a new stadium. He tried Los Angeles. He's floated San Diego. He's floated San Antonio and St. Louis. This is the newest one. And I'll give him credit. He's trying to be resourceful. He's trying to be creative, but it's not going to work. That's number one. Number two, as it pertains to the NFL, there is no way Roger Goodell is going to put an NFL team in the gambling capital of the world. Remember, last year, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo was scheduled to appear at either FanDuel or DraftKings was having a fantasy event in Las Vegas at the Venetian. Goodell got wind of it and prohibited Romo from going to Las Vegas to do that event. He didn't want the NFL associated with gambling, but now all of a sudden he's going to be cool with a team moving there? I don't think so. And number three, and this is the biggest one, the city of Las Vegas cannot support an NFL franchise. Look, from the bottom of my heart, I will always have a special place in my heart for that city. It was really good to me, and I had a great time there. But they are not ready for an NFL franchise.
So is this more, Joe, is this like it's a power, you said power play against Oakland. Is it a power play against Goodell as well? Is this him trying to get some of that relocation money from the Rams and potentially the Chargers to get back into his stadium if he does get one in Oakland?
Strictly a power play against the city of Oakland to get them to pony up. The problem for Mark Davis is that he's played this hand so many times, the city is once again going to call his bluff. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf is not willing to devote public money, taxpayer money, to subsidize a new stadium, nor should she. When we go to a Walmart or a Target or a Burger King isn't telling us to pay for their building and then go in there and buy the product. They invest in the infrastructure, and then they entice us with the product. What happens with the NFL is they've got us tricked. It's one of the best cons in the business that we should pay for their infrastructure, and then we should pay for the right to park, pay for the right to go inside, pay for the right to watch the game and buy food and drinks and jerseys and all that, and then we got to pay for the right to watch it on TV. They are billionaire owners. All we hear about is how great their ratings are, how much their TV revenue contracts are, how much money they're making hand over fist. They can pay for their own damn stadiums.
I am was a diehard Seattle Supersonics fan, and this sounds like exactly what happened with the NBA in Seattle and why the Sonics eventually left. How are the fans in Oakland reacting to just everything going on?
That's the amazing thing, because in St. Louis and San Diego, they were really worried about losing their team. Raider fans do not give a damn about a new stadium. They're cool with the Coliseum, and the Coliseum's a dump, but they're diehard fans. They show up in droves. And you can look at the attendance stats and say, well, Oakland's near the bottom. Well, that's because they tarp off the upper deck called Mount Davis. The available seats sell. They bring a lot of people to those games, and people care about the Raiders. They just want to watch football. They don't care where it is. They don't care if it's a barge out in the middle of the bay. They don't care if it's a high school field that's nothing but a slab of dirt. They are going to show up to watch and support their team because they are loyal football fans. They are not concerned about getting a new stadium. They don't care about any of that. They just want to stop hearing all this nonsense because finally they're on the verge of a winner. Finally, it looks like there's a light at the end of the tunnel for this franchise based on what happened this past season. 7-9 record, one of the best they've put up since 2002, the last time they went to the Super Bowl. 6 Pro Bowlers for the first time since 1994. They look like they have a franchise quarterback. They look like they've got a stud wide receiver in Amari Cooper. They've got an elite pass rusher in Khalil Mack. A spin-through free agency in the draft could get this team to the playoffs next year. So the fans don't want to consistently hear about how they're going to lose their team because the owner can't get organized. What Mark Davis needs to do is sell a portion of that team and bring on another owner, a smart individual, a connected individual, someone with the power and the juice to get something done with the city, because right now, Mark has shown he's not going to be able to get it done, and that's unfortunate.
I find it hard to believe that a guy who does most of his business at P.F. Chang's and drives a late 90s Dodge Caravan can't get things done.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. I mean, I'm sure he flew down to Vegas on Southwest, and I'm sure he got a great deal. But, I mean, come on, man. You own a football team.
All right, so in the Bay Area, a lot of talk right now about your Golden State Warriors. Are they better than the 96 Bulls?
You know, that's such a difficult question because it was such a different style of basketball. And that's one of the topics we always have. The Warriors are obviously one game ahead of the Bulls' pace from that season. How would Chicago defend Steph Curry and the ball moon of the Warriors? How would the Warriors stack up in a very physical altercation against Jordan and Pippen and Rodman and all the great Bulls from the teams in the 90s? The thing is, which rules are you going to implement? I think that's how you're going to determine which team would win a 7-game series. If you play in today's style of basketball, I think you give the edge to the Golden State Warriors. It's a little more ticky-tack. It's more three-point oriented. They're tailor-made for this era. However, if they've got to go back and play in the era of the 90s, the physical altercation, the banging, everything that's required to get points, baskets through the net, I think that's going to favor the Bulls. So it's a great conversation to have. Unfortunately, we'll never be able to answer it, but I think the answer lies in which rules you would implement from which era.
Joe Fortenbaugh from 95.7 The Game in the Bay Area. We are packing our bags right after we get off the phone with you to head out to the Bay Area. What I mean, like, am I going shorts? Am I going pants? What am I doing here?
You're not going shorts. Here's the good news for us, and not a lot of people want to hear this. We have gotten a lot of rain the last 2 months, and that's big because we've been in a state of emergency throughout the state of California for quite some time due to the drought. The good news is El Nino this year has been dumping rain all over the bay for the better part of 2 months. So it's helping out with life as we know it. And I know that's not the best for a party atmosphere, but the good news for next week is right now the weather forecast is calling for anywhere in the mid-50s to the low 60s, a little bit of sunshine, and some rain possibly on Friday, which I know is a big party day. But the reality of the situation is if we get through a week with only 1 day of rain, that's going to be good news based on the way things have gone. So I dress with some layers. I'd bring a jacket, but it's not going to be freezing. I know you guys are dealing with a lot in New York, You're definitely going to be able to handle it.
Yeah, I probably will still go shorts. I mean, we were
that's shorts weather to us.
Yeah, bring your bathing suit.
Yeah, well, last year in Phoenix, it rained the whole time. Like, we're in a desert and it's raining. This is my luck. This is what I do.
Not only that, I was there for that, and I was in Dallas when it hit 0 degrees at night. Dallas does not get snow, but it snowed for the Super Bowl, and because they don't have snow removal equipment, the sidewalks and streets iced over and nobody could get around until Saturday when it warmed up. It was unbelievable.
So a little bit of sprinkles in mid-60s is a win for San Fran.
Yeah, we'll be good for this time of year. Generally, it'd be a little bit warmer, a little bit sunnier, but we'll take it based on the way things have been the last 2 months.
Joe, appreciate your time, man. Can't wait to maybe run into you and throw back a couple ice-cold ones.
Absolutely. You guys got the number. Be sure to hit me up. I'd love to have a good time with you. Thanks for having me on.